has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. All right, make sure you get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android in the Play Store. You're going to love it. It's free. It's awesome. You can watch the network on there, listen to the network on there. It's got the TV side, the radio side. You can follow your favorite hosts like Carver High. You get in-game odds, everything. It's the SportsGrid app, technology at its finest, and it's free. Go get it today. SportsGrid, as we all know, it's smarter to be on the grid, right? Like, you knew that, right? All right, so did you know we're streaming on X? That's right. Just go to SportsGrid-Live, and you can watch us 7 days a week, 365, streaming on X. Make sure you get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on the Bench podcasts on iTunes or wherever you download podcasts. It's everywhere. The C2C podcast is a full 3 hours, and the Ferrall on the Bench is somewhere between 5 and 20 minutes every day, going through all the sports that happen and sports that will happen. And they're both kick-ass. Also, a week from today, just a programming note, is a national championship game. Next Monday, the 20th, Notre Dame will beat Ohio State for the national championship on Monday night, and Carver High will drink several Bud Lights in celebratory fashion for the Irish. Can we do the coaching carousel now? Because I know it's spinning.
Yeah, and that'll be a Guinness night for Notre Dame in the national title game. You don't, we got to step that up. I mean, it's Guinnesses all around for a game of that ilk. Yes, coaching carousel stuff in the NFL. Here we go. Mike Vrabel, in one of the worst kept secrets ever, like you knew he was going to, as soon as they fired Mayo, that he was going to be the new head coach. Well, that was officially announced yesterday. They did their press conference just a little while ago, so tomorrow we'll probably have some of that. And it really is a joke, Scotty, because we've talked about this, these rules that they have, Rooney Rule, etc. What a scam that was. That they even, they had to go do all these interviews. Byron Leftwich, Pep Hamilton, they were hiring Vrabel the entire time. As soon as the second they fired Mayo, Kraft would have brought him in like an hour later if they would have allowed him to. But he had to do all these interviews just to not get fined by the league or whatever.
Just stop with it. Stop with it. It's a joke rule. I mean, let's face facts. Kraft screwed the black guy to hire his white friend.
Well, he was. He's going to probably be bringing.
That is exactly what happened.
The guy he didn't do a very good job his first year. I don't think there's not so much away.
For 4 or 5 years when you get hired,
I agree.
Expect to be there for at least 2 years.
I agree. But I think that, like I said to you last week, I think that last year, if he didn't have that in that guy's cut, he would have hired Vrabel. He loves Vrabel. Vrabel has experience. Vrabel's done this.
Whatever.
He was a Patriot. It just, the whole thing was a bit of a sham, honestly. And now he may bring Josh McDaniels back to New England as well as the offensive coordinator. He won't be getting any more head coaching jobs, I would imagine.
How stale is that idea?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you think he's been there. He can work with May, I suppose. He's worked with Brady, so that's the natural transition. The first year that he was there with the Mac Jones, he wasn't awful. Jones went downhill when McDaniels left. I guess that's what they look at with all of those things. So you got to have as many guys with New England ties as possible on the staff, and that's what they are going to do. The Cowboys decided to wait over a week to decide that Mike McCarthy isn't going to be the coach anymore. So there were no new negotiations on a deal. He'll be a free agent tomorrow. The Bears and Saints have interest in him. I did see he can start talking to whoever he wants now. He doesn't have to wait technically for the contract to expire. I'm a little surprised. I mean, we thought he'd be back. But it's like typical Jerry. Like, why didn't you do this a week ago? And now he can't. You can't interview any of the Lion guys now until their seasons are over. He can't interview Ben Johnson. He can't interview Glenn. Because he needed to do it last week because they were on a bye. So he's got to wait till their season ends.
Well, I think he should hire Ben Johnson and just wait till it's over and then do it and hire him, because every other decision he's made has been horrible. He's already gone with the old one-ring coach in McCarthy, and he was there for 5 years. It seemed like 3, right? No one knew he was there 5 years, but he was, and he never did anything. The only time he ever won was because he had Aaron Rodgers. It's the same thing for Tomlin. He won because he had Ben Roethlisberger and Cowher's team. And that's the exact same thing that McCarthy did. He would have never won in Green Bay if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers. That's all there is to it. I think Ben Johnson is the hottest commodity in coaching, and everyone has to wait to deal with him. And I think that, McCarthy, Bears, Saints, who cares? Aaron Glenn, Saints, Jets, who cares? No one cares. They don't.
Yeah, it's true. And it's just, if you wanted to go this route, and I agree with you on Ben Johnson, everybody loves him, why didn't you do this last week so you could have interviewed him? It just makes no sense. How it just goes back to Jerry's 100 years old, and somebody else has to start making the decisions on a more finite basis. As far as the Raiders go, they're looking for both a coach and a general manager. A report in the Las Vegas Review-Journal today says, when talking about Tom Brady's influence over the organization, quote, "This is Tom's show now," end quote. So,
well, duh.
All right. I mean, I get it. I mean, he owns 5% of the team, and it's smart on Mark Davis to have him, I guess, involved in football decisions. Well, then he shouldn't be, we've done this 1,000 times, he shouldn't be calling games on Fox then, if he's going to be picking the head coach and the general manager of the Raiders. He shouldn't be calling games on Fox.
I think he should be the general manager.
That's fine, too. Why not? If that's what he wants to do so bad, it's just the same thing. I mean, Jeter didn't own all that percentage in the Marlins, but he basically ran the team down there so Tom should go do that then and stop the charade. He sucks in that booth anyway, doing those games on Sundays. Yeah. He's awful. So he might as well just quickly go and start doing that.
I thought Jeter was horrible running the Marlins too, and he's better at being on Fox Baseball. Because let's face facts. I mean, the A-Rod, Jeter, and Poppy thing is a train wreck.
It's not great. It's not great.
I
don't love it.
It's awful. When are people gonna finally get over Alex Rodriguez? It's unbelievable to me. When he was playing, he was the biggest criminal in baseball, the biggest liar, the biggest cheat, the biggest user. And then he gets glorified as a broadcaster. What? Because he's a pretty boy? I don't get it. Now he owns the T-Wolves and the Lynx. Well, go run that then. I mean, tell me he isn't stale on Fox with Jeter. Jeter can't stand him. And, frankly, Jeter can't stand Poppy either. They hate him. But the Yankees hate the Red Sox. They hate Poppy.
Jeter can't stand anybody, which is why I don't know why he's doing it. He can't possibly need the money. He can't. There's no way he needs the money. I don't know why he's doing it. He wasn't personable or entertaining off the field when he was a player. I don't know why he's doing it now, to be quite honest with you. The Raiders requested a head coach interview with Broncos DC Vance Joseph. I hope they ripped that request up after they watched yesterday Josh Allen take the Broncos apart, or maybe watch some of Vance's clips when he was the head coach of the Broncos, and they sucked. So maybe they should watch some of that information. The Bears interviewed Ron Rivera. I mean, come on. They allegedly have interest in Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman said yesterday, no. I love being at Notre Dame.
He's not stupid.
Notre Dame. And the Colts are going to interview former Saints head coach Dennis Allen for DC. He'll never be a head coach again. Yes.
Disaster.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go back to that Ohio State win over Texas. It was a great game until it wasn't.
It was a great game until it wasn't. And I know you talked about this with Coach earlier, but I wanted to get my cracks in it as well. 28-14 was the final. Of course, this was a 21-14 game, and Texas had several chances down deep in Ohio State territory. How about first and goal from the 1? And they just kept going backwards. In fact, they went backwards so much until Quinn Ewers did this with Jack Sawyer all over him on ESPN.
Pressure comes. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up. Jack Sawyer headed down the sidelines. Ohio State scoop and score and dagger from 82 yards.
Today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you, and the special fans, it gets by on you. Game over, cover over, everything.
Well, what sucked for me was, I know 6.5 was the number, but there was a couple of in-game plays on my behalf very early in this game where I had Texas plus 7.5, Texas plus 9.5. So I was feeling okay at 21-14. And them going in, you could have ended 21-14. Would have been just fine with me. But sure enough, that turnover for a touchdown ruined everything for me. I like Sark a lot, Scotty. We both do. Sark's a good dude, good coach. It was embarrassing what he did down there inside the 5. Why do you have Arch Manning on the team if you're not going to use him? Even in that spot, he had a 4th and 1 earlier in the game. What did he do? He brought Arch in to get the yard, and he ended up getting 8. You got this big guy on the team from the 1, 4 times, smash it with Arch right up the middle and get yourself a touchdown. And forget about he should have played more. And I know it was a close game. Wasn't all Ewers' fault. Arch Manning's better than Quinn Ewers. And I think Sark deserves a lot of heat for how he handled that game, how he called that game. He blew that game. They could have beat Ohio State that night. His defense played well enough to beat Ohio State that night. Awful job by Sark.
Too loyal to Quinn Ewers, and he'll be the same guy with Arch Manning next year. Arch Manning will take every single snap the entire season, barring injury, And you're right. We've said this 1,000 times. Arch Manning is better than Quinn Ewers, and he's also going to be the number 1 draft pick in the NFL, and he's also going to have a long career in the NFL. And I've said before, I just think Quinn Ewers has got, Sam Darnold written all over him.
I mean, this guy calls a pitch play and goes backwards from the 1-yard line. Just absolute nonsense. Either way, now we get next Monday night, Notre Dame and Ohio State for it all. Now, this opened 9.5, 10.5, down to 8.5 now for Ohio State with a 45.5 total. Of course, you remember they played that great game last season in South Bend where Ohio State scored on the last play of the game to get the win. So they have played each other fairly recently, Scotty, but those were much different teams and much different situations. I think this is a very tough task for the Irish next Monday night, but I'll say this, not impossible. It's a tough task, but not an impossible task for them.
I mean, Notre Dame had them beat in South Bend. I bet on an Ohio State that day on the money line, and they won the game in the last seconds. If it's any indication of what we're looking at here, which is this is the same 2 teams with a couple of pieces different. I think Jeremiah Smith is a significant piece that wasn't on that team. But this is going to be a great game, and I got it at 9.5. So I don't believe Ohio State's blowing out this Notre Dame team with this defense and this running game and this coach. I think it's just it's going to be a war. I really do. Same thing as the game that was in South Bend.
I'm with you. I think that this is I think it's going to be similar to the Penn State game. Now Ohio State has a lot more offensive weapons than Penn State has or Notre Dame has. I'm not going to deny that. But I think they can get in this guy Howard's face like Texas did and make it very difficult for him. And that's the only way they're going to win this game. They have got to get all over him in that game, and they're going to have themselves a shot. So I'm looking forward to it. All week we'll be talking about it, and then, of course, next Monday we will be there. There was one coaching move in college that I wanted to bring up with you that I thought it was interesting. Tom Allen, I know you know him very well, former Indiana coach, did a great job as the defensive coordinator at Penn State this year. So great that he couldn't wait to get the hell out of there and go take a bigger check from Dabo and go be the defensive coordinator at Clemson. So Tom Allen moving from Penn State to Clemson, Scotty.
Well, I mean, let's face facts. Clemson, South Carolina is a different lifestyle altogether than living in the middle of Pennsylvania, in the middle of nowhere, freezing your ass off. Now he's going to make big money and coach at Clemson with Dabo, and they win 9-10 games every year. They played for the ACC championship, and they had no business being in that game. They got to be in the playoff, and they had no business being in the playoff. But they're always there, aren't they? And then you get a guy like this who can coach defense. He made Penn State top 10 in his only year in University Park. So I would think the same thing will happen at Clemson. I remember when they used to have a good defense.
But it's like, there's got to be more to it than just that. Like, is it just Penn State doesn't have the money to match Clemson for Tom Allen? Like, I don't know.
Maybe he finds Franklin painful.
I think that's what it is. In fact, because I don't like Franklin, I'm going to say it's because of that. I think he found Franklin painful and wanted to get away from him after 1 year. I think that's what it was. So I'll just the bigger check always helps too. We're going to go with that. If you're not going to tell us the real reason, it's just like with injuries. You don't want to tell us what the real problem is. We'll just make one up our own. He didn't like Franklin. So that's it. That's what it comes down to. We will come back. We have a lot more to do. We have NBA to get to for tonight. We have hockey to get to for tonight. We have college rack to get to from tonight. So still several things that we have to accomplish before we get out of here today.
Yeah, there is a limited number of crappy college basketball games tonight that I'm excited about.
There is. Tomorrow's heavy.
Monday.
Tomorrow's real heavy in college rack. Tons of great games.
Thank God, because tonight sucks.
two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
So Luke was just telling me that at the St. John's Nova game on Saturday or whatever, they wouldn't show Brunson on the Jumbotron, who was at the game that played at Villanova. St. John's was having none of that, and that's just bad business. You got some NBA superstar sitting at the game. You just show him to make people happy. They obviously don't care about their customers or the fans that go to the game. What Knick game do you go to in your life where they don't do the whole celebrity row? They show everyone that's a celebrity at the game, whether they root for this team or that team, every time. Do what people want to see. People want to see famous people at the games. That's it. It doesn't matter what the SID thinks at St. John's. I mean, honestly, what a male organ of the month club move that is.
Yeah, especially because, like, that's his arena. Like, it's like he owns the Garden right now. Like, that's his house. Like, let me just tell you something, and I know you're going to agree with me here, and I know that Luke and the other St. John's fans are going to have to deal with it. That's Brunson's house. You guys just rent it. You guys just come in and rent. Like, that's the Knicks' house.
You don't
and
matter.
St. John's comes
you
in
can't
and
even
rents.
make the tournament.
The Big East, I know forever. It's the Knicks' house right now, and Brunson is the guy there. So if Brunson's at the game, have a little fun. Get one of have a little fun with it. Where, okay, so some booze, and then show a Knick highlight, and everyone cheers. Like, you could have had some fun with Brunson being at the game, but instead, as you just said, you just look stupid by not. We're not going to show Brunson because he's got his Villanova sweater on. The guy won a national championship there. Give him a break. Then Brunson decided to show up at the Garden the next afternoon and drop 44 on the Bucks the next day. And he got hurt, right?
And no St. John's fans could afford the tickets.
Brunson did get hurt in the game, but he did come back. That does happen to him a lot, as we know. Nuggets beat the Mavs 112-101. The Kings have gotten real hot, right? I mean, didn't the Kings...
Game over 500.
We left here on Friday. We had the Kings Friday night in Boston. They won the game outright against the Celtics. Kings have been smoking since they fired Mike Brown, which everybody was upset about, but it's clearly turned the team around. The Celtics also struggled at home against the Pelicans. Zion was back, 1-point win, so no cover for the Celtics in that game.
They didn't try in that game, I just wanted to say.
They did not try. The Cavs actually lost the game. They lost to the Pacers last night. I know the Cavs don't lose very often. They're 33-5 now. But they did lose to Indiana. Magic beat the Sixers. Embiid didn't play again. The Sixers are the worst. Thunder destroyed the Wizards. That Jazz net game, I don't know if I know that was the one really good NBA game and it was on the same time as the only really good NFL game that happened yesterday. But the end of that Jazz net game was awesome. That was a great game that the Jazz won 112-111, even though both
Last-second layup.
Last-second layup gets it done. You mentioned this with JK. The Sixers have decided not to go ahead with that $1.3 billion arena in downtown Philly and they will stay in the sports stadium district. Everyone who's ever been to Philadelphia knows all the stadiums are in that one complex down there in South Philly, and the Sixers thought that they were going to be cooler than everyone else and go put an arena in downtown, and the ridiculous city board actually was going to allow them to do it, but they have now come back on those plans and have decided they're going to build a new arena in the complex with the Flyers, so both will play there, and JK told you he thinks it'll even be more than that coming down the pike in that sports complex. So
yeah, he's going to build a new football stadium.
You've been in a link fairly recently. I have to. What they don't need? I mean, they don't need a new building. That's still a pretty good building where the Eagles play. I don't think you need to do another football stadium.
Is there anything worse than franchises that have to have a new arena every 20 years?
Well, like the Giants and Jets, like they should build a new arena. Like their stadium sucks. Like they should build a new one. Like they screwed up MetLife Stadium. The Link is not screwed up. That's a good football arena. But money talks, and when you got a lot of money and a lot of toys like Jeffrey Lurie, you could go and why not? We'll build another stadium. Knock it down.
There really is nothing worse than the Giants and Jets MetLife.
It's awful.
It really is a hellhole.
It's awful. It's awful. It's just awful. Tonight's game's in the NBA. When we come back, we'll get right into it.
Okay.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, there's a six-pack of NBA games tonight we got to hit.
We certainly do. We'll start in Washington, where the Wizards are awful. I mean, they lost, what I just tell you, by like 30 to the Thunder yesterday. Well, tonight they'll have the Timberwolves in town. 14.5, 2 tutties and a hook, 223.5 the total.
I mean, the T-Wolves should cover this number by 15, 18 points. But the weird thing is they never do. Like, so I'm I'm leery because they don't take teams seriously and they don't take regular season games seriously, and they go through the motions. I still think they get it done, but if they don't, I won't be surprised. The Wizards are truly awful.
The Wizards are pathetic. They are so bad. It's amazing. The Pistons are at the Garden against the Knicks tonight. Pistons, of course, have been playing good ball, and they're getting 7.5 here. Now, Brunson's a game-time decision. We just told you before. He left the game yesterday, came back, might be a little banged up. I will tell you, the Pistons went to the Garden a month ago, Scotty, and beat the Knicks 120-111, so they return here now.
Yeah, I think you grab the number here. They've been playing great ball. They had their winning streak, and we hit that loss coming out of the winning streak dead on. And I think they'll show up tonight again at the Garden. They've already proved that they can play the Knicks, and they've already proven that they can play at the Garden. So a little risky, but I'll take it. I still think, the Knicks are better, and Brunson will play. He always plays. He's always injured, but he always plays. The guy plays with more kinetic tape on him than anyone in the league.
He does always play. That is one thing to say for him. The Warriors are on a little bit of an East Coast trip, stopping in Toronto tonight, north of the border. Dubs minus 5.5 against the Raptors, 227.5 the total.
I think that a lot of people just bet on the Raptors because they have a great ATS number. I think the Dubs are flat out better than the Raptors, and I think they cover the number tonight in Toronto.
The Grizzlies and the Rockets get back together tonight. If you remember, they played in Memphis on Thursday night, and the Rockets beat them by 4, 119-115. Tonight they'll be in H-Town. Rockets minus 3.5, 232.5 the total.
I just think Şengün and the Rockets at home are a tough customer to deal with. I'll take Houston and lay it. I love the Grizzlies, as you know. This is a very tough road game tonight at the Toyota.
It certainly is a very tough road game. The Spurs and the Lakers, of course, were supposed to play Saturday night in Los Angeles. We know what's been going on there, so they will try to get back to basketball tonight at the Crypto. Same two teams, Spurs and the Lakers. Lakers minus 3.5, 221.5 the total.
I mean, am I really taking a risk taking the Lakers because of Wemby? Because I think the Lakers will win this game tonight at the Crypt, and they've actually been playing decent ball. Everyone says they suck, but they're 4 games over 500. There's a lot of bad teams in the NBA that are way worse off than the Lakers. And I got to tell you, Christie and Reeves have been balling. LeBron's balling. AD's balling. You know what the problem is? ESPN wants them to be 92% wins because they do their network there in the parking lot, and they want them to win every game and win championships, and they're not that good, but they're decent. The Lakers are decent. I don't see why so many people think they suck. How do you suck when you're 4 games over 500 in a 500 league?
Yeah, 20-16 is not that bad when there's that many awful teams that are in the NBA. That is for sure. And finally, the Clippers will also get back on the court tonight in Los Angeles at the Intuit Dome. They have the Heat in town. Clippers minus 7.5, 214.5 the total.
Wow, I think the number's too big. I think the Heat will cover the number tonight at the Intuit. I think the Clippers are, decent. They got one more loss than the Lakers. So I think they're both decent, and I think it'll be a decent game as well. Not to overuse it, decent, but the Heat have the same record, so they're decent too. I think the game's closer than 7.5.
Yeah, and the Heat have been covering games on this West Coast trip that they're on right now, so why not tonight as well for that one? So there you go, NBA for this evening. College rack. Now, let me give you some stuff from the weekend. Now, Tennessee was number 1. They're not anymore. They did beat Texas 74-70 on Saturday.
They never were.
Kentucky. Yeah, they listen, you start to get into the teeth of this SEC schedule. I mean, basically half the entire league's like in the top 25. That's how good the SEC is right now. You're not going to be able to stay undefeated in a league like that. Kentucky beat Mississippi State 95-90. Bama beat Texas A&M. Florida beat Arkansas 71-63. Let's check in with Arkansas head coach John Calipari because they've been a little rocky lately as his Razorbacks have now lost 3 games in a row, albeit to Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Florida, but still, they've lost 3 in a row. Let's check in with John as he wants to try to maybe rethink some of the things he's doing down there.
And we still have a chance, and then we start missing free throws. So I got to look and say, are we playing the right people? Are we playing the right way? We're getting shots. We're getting layups. We got to the free throw line. We did all the stuff we're trying to do.
So
Listen,
this continues.
They're not better than those 3 teams. Let's start with that, Mike.
No, and he said his team was getting layups. Well, apparently his team didn't do very good at the layups.
Yeah, and you mentioned the missed layups there, 2 of 16 on layups. Was Florida doing anything?
It was that?
It was 2 of 16.
It was 2 of 16?
That's what it says on the stat broadcast, yeah.
No way. There's no way a team goes 2 for 16 next to the basket. Won't happen. That's wrong.
Okay.
It's 2 for 10 maybe,
but
not
it was
2
right.
for 16. No way.
But that was what they were. Listen, they're just like, what did they expect when they hired him? Utopia? Like that he was going to come into Fayetteville and win a national championship in the first season? John Calipari can flat out coach. I don't care what anybody says about him. People don't like him, this, that. He's cocky. He's a showboat, all the rest. I think he's been an excellent college basketball coach everywhere he's been. And I think he'll do well in Fayetteville. I think it's going to take a couple years. I bet in the 3rd year he's in the Elite 8.
I guess they expected 30-0. National championship right out of the gate. You got to win the whole thing. You're John Calipari.
They're a little slow down there. They think they got a football team, too, that sucks.
Yeah, and then everyone says, well, look at how good Kentucky's doing now that he's gone. Look at the job Pope's doing there. You know, Cal's
he always did good at Kentucky.
And he always did good in the regular season. So if this guy's so great, and this is nothing against Mark Pope, he better go to the Final Four then in his first year, right? Better go to the Final Four in his first year. Has to do better than Cal immediately, just like he's doing now.
They'll turn on him in 2 years.
They lose the first weekend, and that guy's on the skewer just like Cal was every year for the last 10 years. He'll be right on the skewer, Mark Pope.
That's why Cal left.
Exactly.
He got sick of it. You're just you're judged on a different level.
Always are. Auburn beats South Carolina. Georgia has been hot. They're going into the top 25 after beating Oklahoma. Did you see any of that Utah State-Boise State game?
Great
late
game.
Night on Saturday. That game was awesome. The crowd was crazy there at Utah State. I thought it was an awesome scene in Logan. It was good. And Purdue, I know you mentioned this game on Friday. They destroyed Nebraska. They beat them by so much I couldn't even put whatever 60 what it was. 104 to 60 something. I mean, they smashed them in that game.
They're a good team, and particularly when they play at Mackey and West Lafayette, they're unbeatable at home.
Auburn is the new number 1 in today's AP Top 25. Iowa State, Duke,
They've
down
been the
in
best
Florida.
team in the country all year.
They have, and now they are number 1. But as we always say, polls don't matter in college basketball. The tournament is what matters. Polls
Auburn
don't
and
matter.
Duke are going to the Final Four, and Cooper Flagg is going to play for a national championship. Then he's going to go to the NBA and be the number 1 draft pick.
I hope so.
two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I watched that Duke team play. I mean, they're really sound defensively. They lost Malik Brown, though, over the weekend against
They did do
Notre
that.
Dame.
They did lose him, and they destroyed Notre Dame in that game. Although Notre Dame came back, Duke was killing them at the beginning portion of that game. Malik Brown will miss an extended period of time with a sprained knee. So not good news.
His own teammate crashed into him and kind of blew out his knee from the side.
Yes.
Landed on his knee, right on the outside of his knee, and just snapped it. So he left the game, never came back, and now he's going to be out a month.
Not a good scene, but as long as you're back for March, that's what really matters. Be there for March if you're Duke.
Oh, they'll be there in March, believe me.
They will be there in March. Tonight's college basketball slate, I guess you could nicely say, leaves a lot to be desired in terms of this. In fact, when I have to put Boston College and Notre Dame as one of the three games on the rack for tonight, you know that it's a light night. Where Notre Dame, how bad are you? How bad's Boston College that they're getting 11.5 at Notre Dame, 10.5, 11.5? Where you got Notre Dame stinks, and they're laying that much at home to Boston College. UCLA is at Rutgers tonight. Maybe Mick Cronin can get thrown out again of another game. Maybe that'll. We played that clip of him on Friday. Then he went and got thrown out in the Maryland game, trying to spark his team. Tonight they're 3.5-point favorites at the State University of New Jersey. And then you also have Minnesota tonight in the Big Ten at Maryland at College Park.
Minnesota is really weak, and I think that, the game's in College Park, so they're tough. They're 12-4. They're going to win that game and beat them. I won't be surprised at all if UCLA responds tonight for all the abuse Mick's been giving them. And because Rutgers can play D, but then their offense disappears, or when their offense is there, the defense disappears. I think Peichel has been really average with this team, having Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. And, let's face facts. They're 500. They suck. And everyone thought that they were going to be playing in the Final Four with these two superstars. I think Notre Dame will cover that number. Listen, there's a better game tonight to bet on. It's Furman. They're at home, and they're 14-2, and they're going to beat the snot out of Wofford.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got, aside from those three, a lot of SoCon, SWAC, NEAC, Southland, CAA, Campbell and Elon. You got a lot of those games.
Corpus Christi will cover tonight 8.5 against Northwestern State. And, my guess is Elon will beat Campbell and cover the 8, but I'm not going near any of them. I'm going near Furman, and I gave you the three other ones. Tonight sucks in college basketball.
Tomorrow's very good, by the way. We'll do it tomorrow night. Auburn, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Miami, Duke, Missouri, Florida. Illinois is at
Duke
Assembly
will
Hall
beat
against
the
Indiana.
snot out of Miami. They're awful. Who's Indiana
Assembly
playing?
Hall, Illinois at Assembly Hall. So Illinois tomorrow night.
Illinois will beat Indiana tomorrow night in Bloomington.
I agree with you. They're a much better team than them so far this year. So there you go. College rack for this evening.
Everybody loves hockey.
Now, you were supposed to be in Pittsburgh this weekend for these Penguin games. They lost 5-0 Saturday to the Senators, and then they lost 5-2 to the Lightning on Sunday. So, yes, so they wasn't the best weekend for the Penguins in that spot. I'll tell you who is playing well, though. The Red Wings. They have won 7 in a row as they beat the Kraken 6-2 yesterday. The Ducks were a huge dog in Carolina and won 3-2 in overtime. So you had all of that too, and Vegas beat the Wild 4-1 out on the Strip at T-Mobile. So that was some of your Sunday action in the NHL. How about tonight? 3 games. What is this? I mean, can we get a little bit more than 3 games tonight?
Come on.
The Panthers are at the South Philly Sports Complex in Philadelphia to see the Flyers. Panthers minus 192 on the road. Flyers plus $1.58 and a 5.5.
You know, I'm going to take the Flyers at that price. I know the Panthers are the champs. I don't think they're going to take this game seriously. They should win easily, but what's this guy? The young Russian, Michigan, whatever. They're not that bad. I mean, they're a couple games under 500. Here's how they beat the Panthers tonight: with violence and hitting. Turn it into a physical game, and I think they have a shot. I know it's a crazy bet, but if you think I'm laying $1.92, you're imagining things.
You are imagining things. Next, we will go to Chicago, where, of course, as we know, the Blackhawks are horrible this year. The Flames are in town tonight. Minus 160 for the Flames on the road, plus $1.32 for the Hawks at a 5.5.
I got to tell you, I covered the Blackhawks for years. And when I lived in Chicago, I used to go to Flames Blackhawk games. It always happened. Like on a Sunday night, I'd see the Flames in town. I think they'll beat the Blackhawks tonight on the West Side.
West Side, indeed. Next, and finally, the Kings and the Oilers, who have played each other, I think, in the playoffs the last 5 years in the first round. They get together as well. Kings are on the Western Canada trip. They won in Winnipeg. They did lose in Calgary the other night. Minus 210 now for Edmonton, plus $1.68 for the Kings, and a 5.5. That's a lot for the King. The Kings are a good team. You're getting them a real good price tonight.
I'll take a goal and a half at minus $1.45 with the LA Kings. I won't be surprised at all if they win the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won the game either. Kings are a good hockey club. They really are. And I know Edmonton, they could score, but the Kings, they play Edmonton tough all the time. They know each other extremely well. There you go. Your night in hockey. Thankfully, tomorrow night, there's 12 games tomorrow. It's like a full slate tomorrow night in hockey. So we have all of that that we will get to then. We'll come back in leftovers. I've got golf for you, boxing news, baseball. I've got a lot of stuff in leftovers tonight.
Come on.
two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The young gun was asked today to go get me a bacon, egg, bagel, everything, salt and pepper, no ketchup, no cheese. Cheese is for girls. He fell asleep and woke up at 3:15, failing to get me my bacon, egg sandwich. This is why Carver High and I love leftovers.
Yeah. Did you get any of that? What is it there in Jersey? The Taylor ham? You get that in there as well on that sandwich?
That's
you don't go
strong,
with that?
strong effort, but I stick with the bacon, egg, salt, pepper.
Okay.
Ketchup's
Good.
for girl.
Good. Roki Sasaki, of course, this is the kid from Japan, the pitcher, who could come over here. Now, remember, this guy can't make big money because he's not posted, he's not old enough to be posted yet. Really, any team can afford him, and he's kind of met with several teams and has been now, I guess, starting to eliminate the teams that he could go to. The Yankees, Mets, and Giants have all been informed one way or another that they're not getting Roki Sasaki. Allegedly, it's down to the Blue Jays. Please, he's not signing with the Blue Jays. The Padres, and of course, the Dodgers. So really, it's the Dodgers and the Padres.
Well, I mean,
is what it's down to.
San Diego's just perfect. And the Dodgers are everyone's favorite to get every player. So I'd love to see him go to the Padres, but he'll go to the Dodgers.
He'll go to the Dodgers. I agree with you. That's probably where it's going to end up. I know that everybody was watching the football yesterday, but the end of the golf was absolutely bonkers yesterday. It looked like it was either going to be your boy J.J. Spuds, J.J. Spawn, or Steven Jagerbombs, who Cam had, by the way, so I feel bad for him. Both of those guys choke down the stretch. Nick Taylor hits a huge eagle on 18 to get to 16 under. Nico Echevarria also got to 16 under, and they win again head-to-head in a playoff. Taylor wins on the second playoff hole after hitting another huge putt. So Taylor, last 3 wins on the PGA Tour, all in playoffs, and he gets it done out in Hawaii. So congratulations to him. I had him on the card, Scotty, but only for a top 20. I did not have him to win, which was very unfortunate for me. Tyson Fury retires from boxing again. Says it's been a blast. He's done for good this time. No more Tyson Fury.
So here's the problem with Tyson. He's full of Shaq. And also, he still thinks he won the 2 Usyk fights, and he got his ass beaten both.
He does still think he won both fights.
He got his ass beat. In the money round.
There you go. So what did we give it? 6 months or 6 to 8 months before we get a Tyson Fury comeback story in the leftover segment? Probably. And finally for me, a man in Vegas has been arrested in connection to the Jonte Porter betting scheme. They're still rounding people up who are involved in the Jonte Porter.
They arrested this guy at the airport, and he was betting big money on the tips that Porter was giving him for what he was going to do at night. And when you read the story, it's unbelievable how he was like, I'm going to tell him my eye's killing me. I'm going to come out of the game. No steals, no rebounds, no assists. Bet the under, bet heavy. It's just truly remarkable.
Wow, unbelievable. There you go. Leftovers for me.
All right, very exciting. Time for Ferrall finish. 2 U.S. Navy pilots ejected to safety after friendly fire downs their jet. Unbelievable. Strap hangers don't feel safe on the violence-plagued New York City subways and have apparently asked God to protect them on the subways. He's too busy rooting for sports teams to help people on the dangerous subway system in New York City. There is more.
Got to beat the Ravens this week.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's got to beat the Ravens this week. He can't help people on the subway. All right, that's it.
And how about, he's doing a great job helping people on the subway, as at least 10 people a week get shoved in front of a train or set on fire on subways.
Have you seen the pictures of all the people now stand on the other side of the subway?
Yeah.
Nobody stands by the train anymore. They all stand against the wall.
Yeah.
That's how scared they are.
Who would go on the train anymore is what I want to know. People walking by a ritzy New York City building keep getting doused with stinky mystery fluids, and no one knows who's dumping them. I will say, back in the day in San Francisco, we used to, let's just get down to it, take a leaf off of the building on a club underneath, and everyone thought it was raining. We used to do it on rainy nights on Ferrall and Bench on KNBR. We behaved poorly. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 on
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.